you had that third failure in a row, did you think, I need to pack this in?
Never.
Why not?
I don't ever give up.
Imagine having $180 million in the bank. You are in your early 30s. You have just sold your company to eBay. You could buy an island, retire, and never work another day in your life. But if you're Elon Musk, you don't buy an island. You take almost every penny of that fortune and you put it all on the table. You bet it on two industries with some of the highest failure rates in the world: electric cars and space exploration.
There are people who've been in the rocketry business for decades who say about you that you don't know what you don't know.
People called him crazy. The media laughed at him. At one point, his companies were literally days away from going bankrupt.
Yeah, 2008, we had the third consecutive failure of the Falcon 1 rocket for SpaceX. Tesla almost went bankrupt. We closed our financing round 6 p.m. Christmas Eve, 2008. It was the last hour of the last day that it was possible. We would have gone bankrupt 2 days after Christmas otherwise.
Either I took all of the capital that I had left from the sale of PayPal to eBay and invest that in Tesla, or Tesla would die.
But today, he runs the most powerful technology empire on Earth. He didn't just build companies. He built a connected network of businesses that spans from the tunnels beneath our feet to the satellites in orbit above us. And in June 2026, that empire made him the first trillionaire in human history. This isn't just a story about money. This is a masterclass in building one company after another. Here is exactly how Elon Musk built the future from scratch. Our story starts in 1995. The internet is a wild west, and a 24-year-old Elon Musk drops out of a Stanford PhD program after just 2 days. He and his brother Kimball scrape together whatever cash they can and start a company called Zip2.
A California company that provides online access to information about cities around the country. Everything from where to eat to how to get around.
Think Google Maps mixed with Yelp, built before either existed. Money was tight. They couldn't afford an apartment, so they slept on futons in a tiny rented office and showered at the local YMCA.
It's the nastiest place you can imagine.
And you lived in it too.
And I lived in it too and showered at the YMCA.
Elon coded the website at night, and the servers only ran during the day. The hard work paid off. In 1999, Compaq bought Zip2 for $307 million in cash. Elon walked away with $22 million. He put $12 million of his own money into his next big idea. He launched X.com, an online bank, which later merged with a competitor named Confinity, run by future billionaire Peter Thiel. Together, they became PayPal. While Elon was literally flying to his honeymoon, the board quietly voted him out as CEO and replaced him with Thiel. It was a huge betrayal, but instead of selling his shares in anger, he held on. In 2002, eBay bought PayPal for $1.5 billion. As the largest shareholder, Musk walked away with $180 million. He had conquered the digital world. Now he was looking up, way up.
I sent a small greenhouse to the surface of Mars with seeds in dehydrated gel, and the public tends to respond to precedents and superlatives. So this would be the furthest that life's ever traveled, the first life on Mars.
Musk wanted to put a greenhouse on Mars to inspire humanity. But when he went to Russia to buy old refurbished missiles to convert into rockets,
I went to Russia to look at buying a refurbished ICBM, which is a very trippy experience. It was very bizarre.
engineers there gave him a cold response and demanded $8 million for a single empty rocket. On the flight home, Musk ran the numbers and realized raw materials made up only about 3% of that price. He didn't need to buy rockets. He needed to build them. In May 2002, with $100 million of his own PayPal money, SpaceX was born. Space is unforgiving, and rockets tend to blow up. Musk had budgeted for 3 test flights. All 3 exploded.
When you had that third failure in a row, did you think, I need to pack this in?
Never.
Why not?
I don't ever give up.
he was almost out of money. Things were just as bad on Earth. In 2004, he'd invested $6.5 million to become chairman and majority owner of a tiny startup called Tesla Motors, aiming to prove electric cars didn't have to be slow, ugly golf carts. But building a car from scratch is brutally hard. And by 2008, as the world spiraled into a financial crisis,
it's been one of the darkest days on Wall Street in recent memory. Stock markets falling the most since 9/11, the Dow off more than 500 points.
This is what financial Armageddon looks like. Red screens that scream sell, sell, sell.
2008 was brutal. 2008, we had the third consecutive failure of the Falcon 1 rocket from SpaceX. Tesla almost went bankrupt. We closed our financing round 6 p.m. Christmas Eve, 2008. It was the last hour of the last day that it was possible. We would have gone bankrupt 2 days after Christmas otherwise.
Tesla's Roadster was badly delayed and costing twice as much as planned. SpaceX was down to its last rocket. Musk was going through a painful public divorce, sleeping on the factory floor with no money left. He had one choice left.
Either I took all of the capital that I had left from the sale of PayPal to eBay and invest that in Tesla, or Tesla would die.
He chose to save both. On September 28, 2008,
3, 2, 1.
the fourth SpaceX rocket reached orbit, the first privately funded liquid-fueled rocket ever to do so. Days later, NASA awarded SpaceX a $1.6 billion contract to resupply the International Space Station, and Tesla closed a critical funding round on Christmas Eve, just hours before it would have gone bankrupt. From the wreckage of 2008, the empire truly began.
This one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
Musk turned Tesla into the most valuable car company on Earth and made SpaceX the leading force in aerospace, launching more cargo than the rest of the world combined. But a true empire builder never stops at two companies. He kept expanding. The Boring Company to fix traffic with underground tunnels, Neuralink to connect the human brain with AI, and Starlink to beam internet across the globe via satellite. In 2022, he bought Twitter for $44 billion and renamed it X, then launched xAI to compete at the cutting edge of artificial intelligence. The pieces fit together. Tesla builds the batteries and self-driving software. The Boring Company builds the tunnels. SpaceX launches the Starlink satellites, and X feeds the data that trains xAI. One connected system where every part strengthens the others. By building things the world badly needed, Musk's wealth became a side effect of his ambition. He first made the billionaire list in 2012, passed Jeff Bezos to become the richest man alive by 2021. But history was made in June 2026.
Well, Elon Musk's SpaceX is just days away from launching onto the stock market in what's expected to be the largest public debut in history.
Wall Street is treating this as once-in-a-generation investment, so there's huge amount of demand. There's already double amount of demand that there is for the shares to sell. So what's incredible is the valuation is $1.75 trillion for this company.
When SpaceX carried out the largest public stock offering ever, the company went public at a valuation of nearly $1.8 trillion. And with Musk still owning over 40%, that single event pushed his net worth past $1 trillion. The man who once slept on the floor of a rented office, who faced total ruin in 2008, became the first US dollar trillionaire in history. But if you ask Elon, the money was never the point. It's simply the fuel for building starships and making humanity a multi-planet species. The real goal isn't a bank account, it's a city on Mars. Now comes the part where the highlight reel needs to stop for a moment. Because Elon Musk's story isn't simply believe in yourself and become a trillionaire. That framing leaves out most of what actually happened. Musk had real advantages most founders never get. He arrived in Silicon Valley just as the internet was taking off, had access to talented co-founders, and found investors willing to bet on unproven industries. After PayPal, he had something rare: real money to risk on ideas nobody else would fund. His companies have also leaned heavily on public support. NASA contracts, EV incentives, and government infrastructure that made these huge bets possible in the first place. And Musk has failed often. Self-driving timelines, production targets, and launch dates have repeatedly been wildly optimistic and missed by years. Tesla has faced real controversies, from safety investigations to labor disputes.
Tesla has announced a recall of more than 2 million vehicles because of problems with their autopilot system. It's a very big recall. The effort is to repair a system that is supposed to ensure that drivers pay attention when using the self-driving feature.
The day before, in faraway China, an out-of-control Tesla drives across a bridge and through an intersection before crashing into a bus, killing the driver.
The Twitter/X purchase triggered mass layoffs, advertiser boycotts, and backlash that even hurt Tesla's stock and reputation. His management style and public conduct have drawn intense, often fair, criticism. So the lesson isn't do exactly what Elon Musk did. Copying his playbook without his starting money, network, or appetite for risk would be a mistake for almost anyone watching. The more useful lesson sits underneath all of that. Each success, Zip2, PayPal, Tesla, SpaceX, gave him more money, more credibility, and more room to take the next risk. It worked spectacularly for Musk. It has also cost him, personally and professionally, more than once. Both things are true at the same time. Elon Musk's empire is built on a simple but incredibly difficult idea. Find the hardest problems standing in the way of human progress and solve them by rethinking everything from the ground up. From Zip2 to X, from the Roadster to the Starship, it's a story of huge risks and relentless follow-through. Do you think Musk will actually get 1 million people to Mars in our lifetime? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like and subscribe for more deep dives into history's greatest builders. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.